Jacinta is such a diplomat of high note and well prepared for the actions and the revolution she's leading. I saw that she went to some Bapedi um, courses, Moshate, to go and announce herself in that province, where a woman premier who is of very dubious character had said though nobody will enter Limpopo. Limpopo does not belong to politicians. Limpopo belongs to the people. On that very note, well, I've not seen the March and March in Limpopo yet, but I'm expecting it to happen on the same breath. And I must be very short to the point because my my clips get cut very brutally so. And then I end up sounding like I'm just talking about myself when I'm talking about issues, in-depth issues, or issues in depth. Now, I'm trying to say I'm beg for those people like Alan Busak, Moses Kakana, very highly educated South Africans. And I must rush to say we are tired of highly educated South Africans thinking they will always lead us, as I'm also calling myself South African, which has expired. This country has expired. That name has expired. The Boers named us, the English named us before the Boers. They named this country. And our land was called the Transvaal and was called the Free State and all kind of nonsensical names that did not belong to any of our history. I'm cautioning these people that if they are true about naming this country Azania, they must not do it because they have a political clout, like those who have named this country because they had political clout. They must come back to people, write dissertations about Azania. If we need to be convinced by this name Azania, which for now makes me feel like throwing up. Maybe it is an innocent name, but my research has found that it is not innocent. It either reflects in some areas what a theologian like Busak would rubber stamp because it says it is a cry unto God and or God answering prayer, something of that kind. I'm not even sure what it says. And others have been called Azania, which is even north of us in Eastern Africa. There's never been our name, our country has never had a name. And I have, put together, I'm not put together, but I've put forth some possible names like Malundi, Maluti, Mohale. And recently I've added, you can look into names like Nandi, Mantatisi, Sahlana Yabasia, and even name our country, even a name that is a sentence in its nature, a full sentence. People will get used to it. Instead of calling our people nicknames like Mzansi, all that nonsense, just because the clever blacks think they can always get away with murder. Moses Kakana, Alan Busak, don't turn yourself into clever blacks. You are more respected than that. Come down to us. Come go to the Hosi, Sabajwana, and say to them, this country is Azania, and see whether they will agree with you. Go to Isilo Samazulu and say, this country is Azania. Go to Nkumkanis of the Amaxhosas and say, this country is Tanzania, and see whether they will go to Basotho, especially where Basotho are centered in a former Qwaqwa. Uh, now they call it Maluti, Apufum, and all that. All this, all these rubbish politicians changing our names without our permission. We will need a referendum. Those Basothos have been denied their royal rights by some commission, of some fictitious commission that was championed by the government of Thabo Mbeki. And Basotho have no power anymore. I think they were taking revenge on people like these, and even the Limpopo people have no powers. People like Bapo, Kamona, they don't have powers over their people. The councillors have more powers. People called councillors, thugs called councillors, have more power than the royal families. If you say Mushate, I'm going to Mushate, people laugh at you today as an insult to our traditions. If you say Kesalobona Morena Mopeji, people think, oh, Rebuswa ke makhanselara jwale rona. You have raped our country more brutally than the Boers and the English have. And don't thrust names like Azapo on us. Some of the people say, who's this Vilakazi talking like he knows something when he does not? I have had a professor of theology at UNISA asking openly on Facebook, who is this? Some of you, I know you, I've interacted with you on a low profile because I've never been a professor. And when in some meetings with the African Council of Churches, you would interact only with those that you know. And some of us who would be there, you would overlook us. So how would you, but we knew, hey, Professor Mamange, not that I'm a lucky to anybody. If you're a professor, rightfully so, you deserve to be called professor. But I will never call you Takazo Mufokeng without you giving me permission to do that. I'm not your close friend. According to the protocols of both West and the mother continent, if people have title, you call them for that title so that you don't belittle them, you don't make them feel. But some of you have a way of looking down upon people and asking, who is this one? Huh? It has been asked, who is in one? I don't want to, but I've mentioned the person directly, indirectly, who said, who is this one? I'm not this one. I'm Paul Vilakazi. I used to have a title, Reverend, but because I'm not so small that I can stick to titles, I don't have it. I don't use it anymore. I tell young people, Kintate Vilakazi, finish it, Babu Vilakazi. And that's enough, man. That's cleansing. In a place where I inhabited recently, young people used to call me Ntate Moholo. I never announced myself where I have a house, that Kimuruti and all that, so that, everybody should be bowing, even in meetings. I must open it in prayers and so on. I would never mislead my people. Once they asked me I said, I'll never pray here because I'll mention Badimu, and some of you will frown because you are so-called born again. So don't ever ask me to pray. So people, I was cleansed when they say, Dumela Ntate Moholo, Dumela Ntate. Oh, I was cleansed for the first time in Dumela Ntate Vilakazi. Those who know my name. And sometimes because of my attire, the other young people would say, hey, timer, hi, timer. I accepted that, although they don't know what timer means. Timer means one who's done time in jail. And they don't know. They think it's an honorable thing. It's an honorable English name. And those are that I can educate, come close range with, and are educable. I say to them, timer is inappropriate. Timer means I have done some 15 years in jail. That's where it comes from. And, and if we don't hurriedly use this medium to educate the young people, when do we write books to explain things like timer? When do we write books to explain to people that when people say Jewish is when you are dressed up well, it comes from women who used to work in the kitchens for Jewish women. And the Jewish women are known to be dressers. And then, I mean, real elegant, whatever, dressed up. And so these women would say Jewish is. And then we must educate people, not take these terms for granted, you know. We must educate people. I get across people who call still in hospitals and elderly homes, who still call sections female, male. We are not animals. We are not described our sex. People are shy to say, ka ho bo ntate moholo, ka ho bo ntate, ka ho bo mme, ka ho bo nkgono, bo gogo. You can use gogo even if you are speaking English. You can say ntate moholo and say female, adopting things that came out of apartheid and are still destroying our dignity. I have to risk myself to educate those who don't know and don't like to be educated, to say, listen, I'm not a male. Don't call me a male, man. You don't call me a male. What do you mean? My maleness is known to me. It's none of your business. You know my name and call me by my name. Yes, maybe I'm deviating, but I'm hurriedly telling stories because even this platform cuts my stories back to never ever put down our throat as Zania, like South Africa, was put down our throat. And then, very fashionably so, we began to be called Mzansi. Hey, come on, man. Come on, don't play with us like that. Don't rubbish us like that. Come out if you people are educated enough, if you people can write dissertation. Anybody, some people were competing with the what they call Amavarara, because Amavarara was saying we are South African. They say, you want to be like white people, you are South African. We are Azanians. That time has passed, man. You've paid your dues. You called them your Azanian. It was in war. You were Azanians in war. There's no war here now. Come on, man. There's no war here now. Get a name for yourself. Get a name. Get a damn name for yourself. Get the hell out of your corner and help us name this country. Because I'm not the one who's going to dictate. I don't think I will ever have the power. But wait a minute. You'll be surprised. One day, I'm right at the top, shouting from the top rather than from the valley. And you will have to listen because I know also how to do some of these things. Don't ever undermine, no. Let me not personalize it, but don't undermine people on the ground. Never. Because I'm a person on the ground. Never.